Sattler Files. Welcome back. You're with Colin Ahearn here on the Sattler Files, live in the studios. I have a very gorgeous guest, and I also have a not as gorgeous guest. The man has far too much hair too high. Spends a lot of time on product. Julie Pedulla and Larry Mercuri. How are we today?
Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you very much for having us again. Today we're very excited to talk about some renovations, I believe.
Yet again, always my pleasure to have a chat with you, Jules. Yes, renoing. That is the topic of the day. Now, renovating, we've got that many different shows on television that are all just canned. I've been involved with a few of those shows in the filming of it, and it's just total rubbish because what you actually see doesn't take the time that it does actually take on television. There's lots of pixie dust involved with it. Real renos, if you're a mum and dad investor or something like that, it's going to cost you money, and you want to make money from it. So I figured there was three different areas of renovation. You're going to have reno where you buy a property and sell, yeah? All right, so that's the first. You're going to have a buy and hold, and then you're going to want to tenant it.
Of course, you need to tenant it.
Yep.
You're not going to spend the money. You're only going to reno it and then actually go back to market, or we're going to put a great tenant in there that's going to look after it for you. All
right, and then the best tenant is you. You're going to have the buy and live in. I mean, there's three different areas of the market. Probably what we want to focus on is the first two. And remove a bit of the emotion and just have common sense decisions with it. So, righto. Now, in buying a property, is it true that most of the value is gained when you purchase it initially?
The value is in buying at the correct price, and then holding it for a period of time. And so it really varies. If you want a quick turnover, you buy at the right price and you have a quick turnover, or you buy at a fair price and then you live in it for a year or so. As you said, they're the best tenant.
Yep.
You are the best tenant, and you start working on it and preparing it. And you got to work towards earning for a resale value going forward over a year. You look at it, making $25,000 to $30,000 as a profit on that property
per spot. Yeah, I guess part of the problem there is unless you're a professional investor, there's too much emotion put into buying a place. And there's not enough throwing muleys out in the ocean just to go, right, that's a deal I can do. I can work the numbers on that and make it all happen.
Yeah, and you're right. It's an emotion. So you get two different type of buyers, right? You've got your emotional buyer, as you were saying, Colin.
Yep.
And then you got your investor then that says, okay, well, I'm going to buy this property and I'm going to do this to it to achieve this. So with your emotional buyer, we'll just go one step back. With your emotional buyer, they buy with emotion, and then basically we help them understand that if they got to reno that kitchen, then this is what we believe will bring it up to standard by instead of putting $15,000 into that kitchen, you may be able to put $5,000 to $7,000, right? So you're saving your $8,000 that you can put into your bathroom and so on. So that emotion buyer is going to want everything done there and then. So what we're finding with renovations at the moment is that some people are into that renovation side of it, in the more of the brackets of your 40s and above, and then your younger ones like it all completed. Yeah. So that's where that emotion comes.
Born lazy and had a relapse.
Well, they want everything mum and dad have got, you see, so they want the pretty picture now.
Yeah. And
we've seen a lot of those over the last few weeks. We do have a few properties at the moment that are primed for renovation. And, yes, the young buyers just can't see the big picture.
All right. Now, we've got a call coming up. So on the talkback line, 1-800 free call, 1-800 544 436. Now, if you've got any questions which you'd like to fire past these two gurus here, the Laz and Jules show, the
We're
gurus.
Ready for it.
Yeah, particularly whether it's to do with structural, I mean, there's so many do's and don'ts, how much money you can spend on it. There must be formulas and all that sort of thing. But I guess one of the rules is don't do too much that is actually structural. If you're trying to get in, get out and get paid, you want to do as much semi-cosmetic without major construction, yeah?
That's the aesthetics, just a pure aesthetics renovation.
Yep.
Where you've got your paint, you might change some tiles, redo the curtains, light fittings, just to zhoosh up that property.
Zhoosh, that's a nice word, I like that.
Yeah. Okay, zhoosh or wow factor. Two favourite words. And then the structural renovations, people go into those ones with their blinkers on.
Yeah.
And one thing unearths another, that unearths the next, and the next, and the dollars sink.
Got a call through. Let's see who we got. Yeah, how you going? Yeah, this is Cole. Who's that?
My name's Gwyn.
Gwyn, tell us your story, mate. What can we help you with?
Yeah, I'm just calling. I've seen a listing that you guys have got at 4164 North Beach Drive in Short Hill, and it looks like it's a pretty decent size, but it's got a lot of old arches and a pretty old kitchen and bathroom. How much would I need to invest it?
You're not loving the arches. Really? All right. So, Jules and Laz, what sort of money are you going to need to throw at squaring up arches, cutting them out, and that sort of thing? Where are you looking at there, dollar-wise?
Good question, Gwyn. With those ones, it's a big property. It's 123 square metres. So, to fix the arches up and to reno the kitchen and do the bathroom and obviously paint it out and put good carpets, it really comes down to the amount of investment. So a lot of people think that, they've got to put in 30, 40,000, to get it to the standards. With that one, you could look at maybe putting in around 20,000. Right, so what you purchase it for, plus your stamp duty, say you live in it, because obviously it's an investment for yourself in the initial point of it, Gwyn, and then we'd look at it in a year to 18 months' time. Where do we put that 20,000, and how are we going to get the return and get you a profit out of it?
So, Gwyn, were you looking at from tenanting it yourself, or living it there yourself, or actually renting it out on the early piece? Which one?
Yeah, I was looking at living in it for a little bit, like Laz was saying, looking probably about a year to 2 years tops.
How handy are you with the jackhammer?
Beg your pardon?
How handy are you with the jackhammer?
Yeah, I'm all right, but probably would get someone to do it professionally, to be honest.
Absolutely. There's so many different things that can go wrong structurally with that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Right,
how much would you expect I get back on that then?
Well, ask the good-looking one, which is not Larry, by the way. Jules, what do you think? How much back?
Hi, Gwyn. Well, obviously, with Laz saying to you putting in that 20,000, that's relevant to that price point of that property being at about the 350,000 mark to purchase. Okay, so we look at it, it's relative to what you buy, because if it was an 800,000 property that we knew that you could maybe gain $100,000 out of it, you may need to spend 40 or 50,000, right? So we want to double that return. So realistically, you buy that at about 350, sink 20,000 into it, plus your stamp duty. You're living in it, which is great because you're not going to be paying rent. Okay, your weekends you've got your list of things to do. Someone with a whip telling you to do it now. And look, in about 18 months' time, we'd hope to make you at least another $50,000, $60,000 on your investment on something like that.
That'd be, yeah. Perfect.
Of course, you also, by living in it, you're going to save your tax on that as well, because the government will miss out on that nice little proportion of it. Does that answer your question, Gwyn?
Yeah, that's fantastic, guys. Cheers.
Hey, Gwyn, we're there on the weekends doing home open, so we hope to see you.
I'll probably pop through.
Bring your checkbook, big fella. That could work.
That's right.
No worries, guys. Thanks very much for that.
All right, back to the Laz and Jules show here. All right, guys. So let's still stick with the whole buying it to buy and sell. You just mentioned that's sort of under the 10% mark as far as what you're going to sink into it. Typically, would that be about the number you're looking at on your lower range sort of houses? That's just going to be a lick and flick. Was that?
Well, with the lick and flick, as you call it, Kyle, I like it,
that?
actually.
You can have that.
And at the end of the day, 10%, I think you'd get away with maybe between 5 and 7.5%. Now, I've done about 10 renos in my time of working real estate, without being in the Laz and Jules show, as we call her, as agents myself, and I know Julie's done a good 4 or 5. So what I found was that there's two ways to do it. We either do the lick and flick, where we give it a paint job, we paint the cupboard doors, put new handles on them, we get a new bench tops, a stone bench top instead of 50 mil, 25 mil. Yep. So there's a lot of things that we can actually do to dress it, right? So that kitchen's probably cost you $6,500 completed, where if you have to put a new one in, you're looking at about 10 to 12,000. Now, we've had a lady do one. She said she spent around about 12,000 on it. So we halving it. And so saving 7 there, another 7 on your bathroom, that's 14,000. So if you actually pump 25,000 into it, as Julie said, the return has got to be 50 to 60,000. Otherwise, by the time you start, make the mess, it's a 7-8 month project.
Yeah, which obviously is better if you're living there, because you can afford to be doing it. You're not losing rent on that time, so it's not money out of your pocket, but it's just a pain in the backside large time.
Yeah, can I relate that to, we went to an appraisal the other night and I said, oh, that's great, you can fit a swimming pool here. She goes, oh, should we put one in? I was like, oh, Jesus, you want to sell your home, you want to put sink $60,000 into the ground. No, stop there.
Yeah.
Basically, something like a swimming pool, like larger items, and you obviously you're the garden guru, so we know that improving your garden is going to appeal, so we say yes to that. But hey, if you're going to put a swimming pool in there and you want to stay there for at least, it's a 5 to 10 year plan, because you're not going to be getting back that money.
Yeah.
And it's always the way. We've got a home with a pool, they don't want a pool.
Yeah.
We've got a home without a pool, they want the pool.
Yeah.
So it's a 50-50 split.
We were definitely exactly that category. Where we bought, it's 1,000 square metres and it had room for the pool, so I went, yeah, I can do that. So for me, it had to have the room for the pool, but yet other people pull that sucker out, get rid of it. Yeah, it's a funny one.
Don't put a swimming pool in if you're going to really be dressing it up for sale, because you're not going to get that investment, but you're not going to make $100,000.
You're going to have the potential people that are going to look at it and go, "This is our dream house."
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm still of the opinion that a pool doesn't take away from it, but I have met people that wouldn't have one if their life depended on it. So yeah. All right. Certainly that would come into the structural category.
That's right.
Absolutely. As far as roofs and things like that, what do you think of the idea of roof restorations, just to make things sound so it's once again waterproof and all, cosmetically looking a bit better? Not totally expensive, but that's a decent way to make a house look fresh.
Absolutely, you can look at, you're going to paint the outside anyway. So once you figure out what you're doing with the outside and like I said, we're moving to the roof side of it, there's a number of ways you do it. If you're a bit of a handyman and you don't want to get anyone in, you'd water pressure it like I did with many of my properties. I water pressured it all down, made it very clean. Then I obviously went to Bunnings, got a sealer. I sealed the roof. And then obviously, I spent a day or so rolling all the tiles, or if you've got a tin roof, it really varies. So that's cost saving. You get someone in to do that, you're probably looking around $3,500-4,000. Doing it yourself, you probably get away with it for around about $1,000. So all these cost savings that we're actually speaking about today, someone that's looking at turning properties over every 12 to 18 months. And like you were saying about, it's about preparing the home to get the best result. I would say if the roof is looking a bit dull, we do it. If the roof is still looking very good, we do the gutters, the downpipes and so on. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Well, one of the best investments that you can make on a renovation is when we get those 3x1s, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathrooms. What we love finding is that little nook and cranny to put that second bathroom.
Yeah.
A second bathroom adds the most value to your renovation.
Mum does not want to be where those kids have been.
Yeah.
And not only that, let's take an example. We got a 3x1 that's $350,000 right now. You purchase that, yes, it needs a full renovation. You're going to do the renovation anyway. So why not add that bathroom? Your home will be a 3x2 will then turn into 550.
Yeah.
So it really does. The number of bedrooms and the number of bathrooms gets you into that next $50,000 to $100,000 price category. So we'll look at, has it got a wardrobe space? That wardrobe space can be pushed out. Well, is that adjoining the laundry? Okay, well, let's remodel that so you can incorporate the bathroom option.
Yep.
The side, you remember, the old homes, the Federation type homes, the bungalows, they had the garages for the mini miners.
Yeah. Good for not much.
Perfect for wardrobes and for bathrooms.
Wardrobes.
Yeah, well,
you have too many clothes if you need a bloody carport.
No, walk-in wardrobe and a second bathroom.
And shoes.
Not that, princess luck.
Thank God for that.
We renovated our bathroom at home recently and did basically that. We had a toilet, which was a pokey little toilet, and then right next door to that, but there was no excess, was we had the bathroom, and it had a bath in it. So stripped all that out, knocked out all the walls and that sort of thing, and then fixed up one door, and that did exactly that.
It's amazing. You just have to have a little bit of vision, and that's what we love exploring most. We're going to homes and we're going to sell them, and when we're standing there, buyers are coming through and you can see them, and it's like they want that second bathroom. We've already designed it for them.
Yeah.
You've got to give them the solution because people don't have the vision, unfortunately. As Gwyn said, that, he probably works in an office and he he's not on the tools, so he hasn't got the vision, say like someone like you, Cole, that can knock anything together.
I mean, the thing there too is also the ability to magically pull together good trades and to know what's involved. This is a discussion for down the road, but to know what's involved in getting a good tradesman and referral-based marketing and that sort of thing, friends telling you who they've used and that sort of thing, because that can either be a win or the worst trap in the world.
And that's the exciting bit. And along our journey as real estate educators, we actually have met some great people like painters, landscaping people, and so on. And, you know, these guys know that when we call them, we want it done yesterday. Yeah. We really do. But we understand that everything takes time and all that sort of stuff. So we try and refer people that, you know, are going to do a job to sort of our standard if we're going to go to the market. Because, you know, Julie and I have certain standards that we like to sell our properties, because we want to get our seller the best possible price at the end of the day.
It's very hard to grab someone like that. I mean, that connection is brilliant. It's very hard to grab someone out of the Yellow Pages or Google or that sort of thing, and it's just a ring and pray routine, that sort of thing. You can...
You know, as you said, this could be another segment on another show.
I think so.
Where we can help the listeners, because so many people don't know where to search. So we have got the plumber, we have got the electricians, we've got the painter, the graffiato. The list goes on, so we can actually link everybody up together, and it's either yes or no, and make sure you look after our people.
Well, that's the beautiful thing, because you've got leverage that no individual retail customer is ever going to have, because they've got an ongoing relationship with you, which is a continuation of work. Screw over the Jules and Laz show when you're gone. So you've got to have that good relationship and good trust both ways for an ongoing relationship. So then the client is the win-win in that one every time.
Yeah, we'll make sure we look after everybody on every side of it, because we, as I said, they're preparing their homes for the market, or we're preparing for a final inspection on your property. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you know, the oven's blown, or you know, something's gone wrong right at the last minute, and we need people in there. So they're reliable, and as I said, everyone works back and forth. It's not scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. It's like, hey, let's get this job done.
Yeah, which is what it needs to be. I think a lot of people have got false hopes as far as what they believe they can achieve themselves. I've seen it hundreds of times where it just turns to a hell in a handbasket sort of routine.
I think we also mentioned last week, the smaller the job, like a small bathroom, you need every tradie in there. You need the tiler, you need the glass man, you need the painter, you need the electrician. It goes on. So you've got so many trades in that one room, and they're waiting for the next one to finish, and there's so much room for error. So the smaller the job, the higher amount of money it's going to cost you. You just got to be really careful with your choice of
I mean, typically with the if you buy and sell as well, because time is money, and you need a very good critical path network where they're in and they're programmed and they're scheduled and they're on time. It's
all the time, and because it's costing you interest, repayments to the bank. So there's a lot that we, got to look at when you do go to a reno. You know, the number of renos that like Jules and I have done, especially one of mine. I thought I was going to make 50 on it. I ended up making less than 5, but that was an experience, and that's what teaches you how to talk to the experts that do this every day, as you were saying, Cole. And Julie was saying, get the right people.
And that's all part, whether you're doing it professionally or whatever, that's all part of having a network and being able to tap into it. And that could just be a list of beer drinking buddies that have got a little bit of experience there, but it's certainly, you need to be able to talk to someone. Facebook is dynamic for that, because you can either win or get slammed in a heartbeat there, and it's all pretty real.
Well, we had someone the other day, Facebook, hey, Jules, urgently need some stone for my bench tops. Now, I know when I renovated my kitchen, the kitchen company quoted $9,500 for my stone, and I made 2 phone calls and got it for $4,000.
That's the Italian way.
Pretty major saving. Let your fingers do the walking.
Yet to see a wog get ripped off on granite.
Us beautiful WAGs.
All right, so the critical difference between buying and living in, and buying and eventually trying to flog it. What are the main differences that you see with clients? I mean, I guess we're typical. We've just done up our bedroom. We've renovated half our bloody house. It's a massive house, but it's an A-frame. Trace and I did our bedroom at the start of this year. We spent nearly $5,000 on cabinets. That was nothing, $1,000 on carpet. Did get a surround sound theatre system and a projector with a drop-down screen in there, though. That's brilliant for watching movies in there, in the Sunday Arvo.
On top from you, wasn't it?
Yes,
That's part of the renovation.
Look what no, that was part of the reno. That was absolutely part of the reno. But, I mean, I think we threw about $15,000 into a bedroom, but we're not going anywhere. And that bedroom is exactly how my wife wants it.
Your retreat.
Happy wife?
Happy life.
Is that just a myth? What we might do, we might quickly just chuck to an ad if we can do that, and then we'll come back in just a moment here on the Sattler Files with the Jules and Laz and Jules show.
This is the Sattler Files.
DevWright Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At DevWright Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about DevWright Homes at www.devwright.com.au.
A kiss, a long embrace, a fond farewell should be personal. That's why Perslow Funerals allow you to remember the life of your loved ones in a way that truly reflects their individual character. It's the difference that makes every goodbye unique. For more information about planning a special goodbye, visit perslowfunerals.com.au, because every goodbye is different.
I'm John Hughes. I'm very proud of the tremendous amount of repeat and referral business that we do in Victoria Park, and this is because I've personally trained all of my salespeople to be non-pushy, friendly and professional, and to always provide first-class before and after-sales service. I jealously safeguard my reputation, so if you want the best car buying experience in WA, choose your dealer before you choose your car. That's John Hughes in Victoria Park. DL 6061.
Is there anything more confusing than the world of finance? Why would you risk managing your own financial affairs without the help of a professional? But you don't want to talk to just anyone. You want financial advice that is both comprehensive and objective. That's what you get from Paramount Wealth Management. As a fee-based firm with no institutional ties, you can be sure that what you get from Paramount is all about your interests and not those of a financial institution. Call Paramount today on 9474 3522 or visit www.paramount.net.au.
This is the Sattler Files.
Ladies and gentlemen, direct from the northern suburbs right here in Perth, you have in the Sattler File studios the Laz and Jules program. How was that, guys? Did you like that?
I loved it.
Thank you. Great intro.
Yeah. All right, now we're talking renovations and different do's and don'ts as far as where you can throw money in that you're not going to get back. Kitchens and bathrooms, we've already gone through as far as them being pretty expensive. Let's go outside. Now, I've looked at a joint down in Byford just on the weekend. A friend of mine's built a new house, and typically when you build a new house, the dog box with sand around it was 6 bricks out the side.
Oh, you've got to get rid of that sand. Don't you?
Well, he's only just moved in about 3 or 4 months ago. The house has only just turned over. So they paid mid-threes for it down in Byford, mid to late threes. I looked at it, and when I got there, it was just a nightmare. He's got bloody dogs as well.
What size block do you...
It would probably be maybe 400.
Okay, so it's not a small cottage type.
Yeah, it is,
yeah?
with a decent sized house on it.
800 square metres of land.
So I went through some different numbers on how we could do it, and the first thing, because he wants to move over east, so the first thing we looked at was the idea of sectioning off half down the sides, and just with some boarding, put a couple of plants in there and mulching on that side. We love mulch; it's beautiful stuff. It covers a lot of area and it's very cheap. But the other thing, instead of paving, was just to put in steppers, some shade cloth stuff underneath it, some steppers, and then just some rocks around it. So you're covering big area for very little money. Quite often those typical builds, it's very hard to add on to what's existing, but you really need to look at the idea of, from my point of view, to look at outdoor living and let them be attracted to what you're walking them out to. I mean, how much emotionally, when a buyer's going to come through, how much of a focus point do you think that would be?
Well, you know, our climate lends us to the indoor and outdoor lifestyle. So alfrescos are a very big part of people's lifestyle, especially in Perth with this weather. So we would focus on the alfresco deck barbecue area type scenario where it's loungy and you have that relaxing feel. Yep. And then obviously we're time poor now. So people want to minimum garden. Yeah. Personally, I'm not into the plastic lawn, right? And in 40 degrees, I don't think your feet would like it either. So it's having those solutions, as you said, where it leads you to. I quite like what you were saying about the pathways with the pebbles and
that's maximum coverage, minimum dollars.
Greenery, but I think we really need to focus on that alfresco area. Yeah. Laz, what do you think?
Yeah, and as you focus on the fresco area, you obviously want to have an outlook as you're sitting in your lounge chairs in your fresco, where you've got the plants and you've got the pots and you've got that garden bed
softening,
or a waterfall. That that's not a lot of people go for that, but what we're noticing now is that we actually talk it up a lot. Yep. And when we're helping people look at, okay, they're purchasing this, what's possible in that backyard, and we do, and what we're finding is that a lot of properties like the one we praised the other night in Dianella was that, they've got the waterfall there ready. Yeah, they haven't got the pool, but they've got that garden bed. So as they sit and enjoy that evening wine or, that dinner or some friends over, that they've got an outlook, even though on a small 400 size block.
Yeah. It's about the ambience, I suppose.
Yeah.
As you travel the world, different places you see, different places you go, it's about people that you meet and people that you spend time with as to what memories are within a house or a castle or anywhere. And if you can provide an area, whether it's indoor or outdoor, where people can make great memories, well then you've got to be on a winner for definite sure there.
Number one choice would be like the Amalfi Coast outlook, but a waterfall would do.
Yes. I actually have a large print of the Las Vegas Strip on my bedroom wall. Does that count?
I love it.
Viva Las Vegas. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
No, it wasn't that exciting in Vegas. Well, it was exciting, but not in a, let's put that in a book later on exciting.
Later.
All right. Now, look, guys, we're going to have to wind it up soon. But what I want to do, let's go through some different properties, what's moved, what hasn't, the movers and shakers in the market.
Okay, well, I'll take on the north and Laz is going to take on the south today.
See, I like that bloke.
Yeah. He's going south. Okay, so the total number of properties that we've got on the market this week is 16,969. Same week last year was 13,245. Now, out of that makeup of that 16,969 that we mentioned, there's 10,843 of those are actual houses, and the rest are units, and there's some land. Remember last week we talked about the abundance of apartments on the market. So as far as houses go, we're at a similar market.
Yep.
Now, north of the river, the top-selling suburbs this week. Come on down, Belga. I do like to call that Belgia. Belgia, with 8 sales. And obviously there you've got all those villas that are now being sold.
Yep.
The developers have bought up all the land.
Yep.
There's a few that we've sold recently, but there's a lot of villas for sale. We've got Cottesloe in at number 8. So the suburb of Cottesloe this week.
8.
8 properties sold this week.
Yes.
That's on number 2.
Yep.
Okay, and then we've got Clarkson. So we're going out more into the suburbs where the affordability is.
Get on the train, you're taking a trip.
That's right, with 7 sales this week. And Balladura. Balladura is showing some great buying power, big blocks.
Yeah, big blocks.
You've still got your solid homes, but they need the aesthetic renovation, right? Because they're all been built sort of in the 80s.
Well, if you've listened to us today.
That's right. So Balladura, good spot to invest.
Balladura.
Off to the south, Laz.
We're going south, are we? Okay, with the south at the moment.
Did you just say south with a bit of an English accent? South. We're going south.
I like that, south.
South.
As we said last week, Baldivis is leading the charge due to the amount of developments that are happening down there, and a lot of stages. So they've moved 16 in a week. I think that's fantastic. And obviously that will keep growing more and more due to all the new builds that are coming on. Then followed by Palmyra. They've done 8 this week. Then we got Willetton, they're 8 as well, and Armidale 7. So the two main suburbs that are doing very well is Belldivers and Armidale in the south, due to they're the two properties that are on the biggest growth. So if we look at Armidale is actually coming to a subdivision time now. Yep. So a lot of people are starting to invest in there, subdivide, and the suburb is actually growing and they're cleaning it up, and people don't want to live in there. I think that a lot of people are moving there due to the $400,000 properties they're buying. So
and Champion Lakes, the proximity to Champion Lakes there as well, that's just a wonderful venue.
Absolutely, it is just off Tonkin.
Yeah, all right. Well, any other movers there?
That's it. That's the 5 I've got. And the movers and shakers down the south.
Well, there you have the goss for the day.
Yeah.
Guys, absolute pleasure to have you back in the studio yet again. And we shall do this next week, I do believe. Correct me if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That'll be fantastic.
All right, and we'll find a nice little subject that we can chew over. So the tradie one, that's another one. We'll probably leave that for a few weeks, but certainly a subject we can touch base with later.
Your listeners might have something they'd like to ring about, ask us anything sort of question. That's fine.
Now, look, to the other side, if you know Jules, if you know Larry, if you know myself, or if you know Despane, feel free to ping through either on Facebook a message to us, or you can ring on the talkback number on 1800 544 436. That's 1800 544 436. Now, speaking of phone calls, I've got your numbers written down. If you would like to get hold of the wonderful Julie Pedulla on mobile for sales, her number is 0419 440 093. And if you're looking for someone with a nice hairstyle, perhaps Larry is the man to touch base with, 0449 979 113. Emails, guys?
It's Julie at Harcourts.Integrity.com.au.
And it's Larry at Harcourts.Integrity.com.au. Looking forward to chatting soon.
Hey, thanks, Cole, and have a great weekend, everybody.
You better believe we will. Absolute pleasure to have you two in the studio yet again. This is Colin Ahearn for the Sattler Files, and we are out.
This is the Sattler